So you may have noticed I've kind of been MIA for a little while. I haven't posted anything of any real substance on YouTube in months, and I haven't even posted on Instagram for that matter. And here is why.
24/7, this is on my mind. I'm always putting in the work, but I stay inside. Couldn't keep up with my pace, even when they tried. Always push it to the limit, eyes on the prize. Man, I climb every mountain, I swear I'm making a move. I always push it to failure, because in failure is truth. I'm not consuming your business, I'm here to do what I do. My actions do all the talking, and my results are the proof.
That's right. I officially moved, and I'm finally making my comeback to YouTube. I used to commute an hour each way just to even see the Jeep. So I'm sure you can imagine what kind of complications that brings when you're trying to make Jeep content. So I'm finally coming back. We got a new space, brand new to me, 30 by 40 insulated pole barn, and I'm ready to get going on the Jeep build again. And to any other homeowner out there, I'm sure you can imagine how incredibly busy I've been since I moved. So there's actually bits and pieces of this video that I started working on months ago now. So you're probably gonna notice a bit of a change of clothes since this was kind of multiple days throughout doing different things. I'm pretty sure even in the beginning of the video, my hair was shorter and now I got all this hair on my head. So yeah, a lot of changes coming to the channel right now. And let's take a look at what we got going on. All right, so first things first, let's get rid of all these spiders because gross. I think it's safe to say this 3 million year old shop vac has seen better days since it basically shoots everything back out that it vacuums up. So at this point, I've already kind of done quite a bit off camera, as you can see. And that's kind of just because I had to get this space ready and prepared for doing other car work. I had some car maintenance come up just with my daily driver and things like that. So this space is more than only for working on the Jeep. I kind of designated this back half for that project, but I wanted to keep the front half free for doing things like oil changes, tire rotations. When it comes to this winter, I have my snow tires up here, and I built that, and I think that turned out pretty good. I have 4 snow tires up there, and those things, if you have ever ran the Bridgestone Blizzak tires, those things are pretty stinking heavy for what they are. And I'm not very heavy myself, but with all 4 of those up there, you can see I did some pull-ups on it. I'll put the clip right here, and it didn't even budge. So pretty happy with that. I should also note, I don't even have a chop saw in this shop yet. So I actually built that entire thing, cutting all the boards by hand with this camping saw. And I mean, all things considered, I'd say it came out pretty good. So there's plenty of stuff I am still trying to find a home for. As you can see, random things still in boxes laying on the shelves. But it is a work in progress. I've kind of designated this corner over here for just kind of seasonal things. So the lawnmower in the winter, I'm not going to be using it much. So I'm just kind of putting everything over here. All this is just extra lumber that I can use for projects that come up. If I need to build some shelves over here, for example, when I am working on the Jeep. Over here, just more random stuff. This is kind of just house project things. Pellet stove here. This thing is going to be so nice this winter. I've probably mentioned before, I hate working in the cold more than anything. So that pellet stove is going to be so nice when we do the Jeep project this winter, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. And speaking of Jeep project this winter, I actually already have some partners on board for the build that I will tell you about. So let's take a look at what we have so far. There's some other things that I've already lined up that have not come in yet. So if those come in before I finish editing this video and post it, I'll be sure to include those. But let's take a look at what we got so far. So you probably already saw this. Yes Welder has officially partnered with me for this Jeep project. So this is a brand new 250 amp welder. I'm not going to be able to do much testing with it today because I really need to get a gas tank for it, but let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so as I said, this is the Yes Welder MIG 250 Pro. This is a multi-process machine. So what that means is, aside from doing the standard MIG, it also does flux core, it does stick, it does lift TIG, it does all that, all in this one machine. And this thing is pretty sweet. Being the 250 amp welder, it means this one is one of their most powerful machines, and I'm super happy to be able to test this out. This is very much a budget welder that any one of you guys could just go out and buy right now and get started welding. So I'm super excited to see how this thing actually is gonna perform. We have a pretty serious project coming up this winter. So I'm excited to see how this thing is gonna handle all that work. This thing is a pretty compact machine overall. But this is able to hold all the way up to the 10-pound spool. So that's actually what I got. I have two 10-pound spools. I do have a flux core, but flux core isn't exactly my favorite. It was kind of, I wanted to get some of that if I'm doing any sort of just like field repairs, we'll call it, kind of just outside the shop. I can kind of hook this up and do a quick fix somewhere with some flux core. But everything we're gonna be doing on the Jeep is gonna be standard MIG, which is why I need to get a gas tank. But yeah, again, huge shout out to Yes Welder. I'm super happy to have them on board for this build, and I'm super excited to show you guys what kind of quality welds this can do. And then if you follow my Instagram, you already saw some of this. Novsite has also joined in for this build. These you probably will not see till towards the end, just because I'm obviously not going to mount up lights when I'm about ready to do welding and fully tear the Jeep apart. But we have their 3-inch special edition pods. So these have the red halos on them. 2 of these are flood, 2 of them are spot. I'm thinking I'm going to swap out the lights that are in my bumper right now, because I think these red halos are gonna look sweet in there. And then what I'm gonna do is possibly move my other pods down onto the knuckles and do some steerable lights. Let me know in the comments where you think I should end up putting these, because I have a lot of time to decide and we can always make mounts for them. I also have a rock light kit. I do a lot of night wheeling, and I don't think I'd want to go without rock lights on some of the trails that I'm hoping to be doing once this build is over with. All right. I think I've drugged this on long enough. I think it's finally time to show you guys what we got going on.
24/7, this is on my mind. I'm always putting into work while I stay inside. Couldn't keep up with my pace even when they tried. Always push it to the limit, eyes on the prize. Man, I climb every mountain, I swear I'm making a move. I always push it to failure because in failure is truth. I'm not concerned with your business, I'm here to do what I do. My actions do all the talking and my results are the proof.
I'm sure you all know what this means. That's right, we got some 1-tons. This thing is finally getting big. We're no longer gonna be running a Dana 30 and a Dana 44. We now have 1-ton axles, Dana 60 front, Sterling 10.5 rear, and they're already partially built, so let's talk about it. So these are 2005 and up Ford F350 axles. So what that means is it is a Super 60 front, 35 spline shafts. Same thing in the rear, 35 spline shafts. You'll also see these kind of have some home-brewed trusses kind of going on here. But for this front, for sure, I think we're gonna end up cutting this off and doing something a little bit more official, a little bit nicer. But the rear back here has kind of the same thing, but since the rear is such a simple design where it just goes up over the diff housing, I think this is actually gonna be perfect for what we need to run it in the WJ, because we already kind of have a triangulated rear, especially once you go long arms and you have triangulated 4-link. So this one, I may actually just do like a 4-link calculator, and we're gonna just go ahead and design our own 4-link geometry and kind of just run off from this. I might reinforce that a little bit, add some plates in here, but this is pretty beefy already. So as long as everything looks good on it, I may actually just run it as is. But let's go ahead and pull the diff covers off and take a look what we got inside. So these have been sitting for like 5 years. So I clearly have to pull everything apart and get it all cleaned up. Obviously, we would have done that anyways. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but these are factory Dana Spicer 538 gears. And the gears are in great shape. So I'm really excited to see that. And then if you're also seeing what I'm seeing, that is a Yukon Grizzly locker. And in the rear, we are running 538 Yukon gears and also another Yukon Grizzly locker. For the price I got these axles, already having some of these parts, that's pretty sweet. A lot of the work is gonna be getting rid of all this junk. Probably gonna hit up Barnes 4-wheel drive and see about throwing one of their trusses on this. I know there's a few other options out there too, so if you have experience with any of the other ones that you prefer, let me know in the comments. I'd love to take a look at them. And then this also had the tie rod. So like the drag link was cut off on the factory steering. And then this janky thing was welded on here for full hydro. I am not gonna run full hydro on this because I still want it to be fairly streetable. So I'm gonna need all new steering. So what do you think? Should I just buy replacement factory steering? Or since I have to replace it anyways, should I go ahead and upgrade with a kit? And if there's a company out there that makes really sweet, beefy steering for these axles, also let me know in the comments again. I'm in the early stages and I'm still trying to get everything put together for this so I can hopefully put this thing under the knife this winter, since wheeling in the winter is already pretty limited since a lot of the trails around here get shut down for snowmobiles only. I think that's gonna be the perfect time to do the build, and hopefully come next spring or early next summer, we can have this thing back on the road, back on the trails. So I'd love to have as much help as I can so we can get this thing put together. So let me know in the comments, what truss should I put on here and what steering should I put on here? Just look how wide these are. This is gonna be insane. And then also, in case I didn't already mention it, you can see we have these 1.5 inch wheel adapters on here. I think I might end up keeping these if these end up being in good shape. I am gonna make this thing super wide and super big. I'm going as wide as possible. I'm super stoked to show you guys what wheels and tires we have lined up for this. The wheels are not even on the market yet. Cannot wait to show you guys those. Let's just say they're sick. And if you've watched any of my earlier videos, I've hinted at doing something completely different than this. But when you stumble across a deal on built 1-tons, you gotta take it. So take this as the official announcement. We're building a 1-ton WJ.